So, hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, myself, Kevin, and Alan are here. Well, I'm teaching Alan how to play Lord of the Rings, or The Hobbit, or Middle-earth strategy battle game, whichever one you want to use.
Which one are you going to teach me?
They're all the same game, with a few exceptions, a few little differences and rule tweaks. But we're using the Battle Company system. Ooh, spooky ghost. Today, Alan's going to be using Rohan. I'm going to be using Hobbits. I'm using Hobbits because Hobbits are who I play as. Alan's using Rohan because it's what we've got painted up. I am painting up some elves. I'm also painting up some Mordor, so you're going to get a load of different battles in the future. We've gone with the standard lists, which are the Shire and the Rohan lists. So you've got your starting battle companies, which we did cover previously. So Alan has 3 warriors with shields, 2 with throwing spears and shields, and 2 with bows. Now, one of his guys with just a shield.
And your guys has only got a shield?
No, everybody gets a hand weapon.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the guys with a shield and hand weapon is one of your captains.
This guy?
Yes, and it's the Gamelin model with a converted shield on the back of him. It's okay. And then
I can't see the screen.
Yeah,
the actually
is
that in there.
And then the 2 throwing spear guys are your others. So the way that works is...
He's so grumpy looking.
Yeah, he is. You build your warband as normal, so you write it down exactly as you would from the sheet. And then what you do is you pick 3 models to be your hero characters. Mm-hmm. They each get 1 might, 1 fade, and 1 will. And we chose the 2 throwing spear guys because they're cool, and then we chose Gamelin because he stands out. Now for myself, with Hobbits... Hobbits are a very, very simple list, but there's a lot of them.
They're a very, very simple race.
They are. It's all about potatoes and farming and pipeweed.
Pipeweed. Lots and lots of pipeweed.
Boom. So, as you can see there, 8 militia and 4 archers. Now, I've just made 3 militia into my heroes. And I'm using Bilbo Baggins as my main leader with his book. Mm-hmm. It's a hand weapon. Because knowledge is power.
Oh, my God.
Ba-dum-tsh. And then I've got Merry and Pip in their Citadel of the Guard and their Warrior of Rohan armours.
Cool.
As my other 2, so they stand out quite easily. Everything else we're going to do as if it was a campaign game. So, when you're doing a game, first thing you do is you check your company ratings. Yours is 91, and I believe mine is 84, 85? It's 85. So, for every 15 points of difference... whoever was the lower number would get an extra reroll and an extra influence point, which is what you spend to buy things. So...
we don't have a 15-point difference.
We do not. No. So we'd go straight into it. So what you do is there's this table here. So you'd roll you'd roll a d6. So you can do this one. There's your d6.
Okay, so I roll a d6, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a 6. So if it's 1 to 3, you roll on this chart. If it's 4 to 6, you'd roll on the bottom chart.
Okay.
So now I will roll to see which mission it is. So there's 12 different missions in here. Mm-hmm. You could also make up your own if you so desired. So I'm going to roll it here. And it's number 1. So this is a show of strength, which is a really, really bad mission for hobbits. So the way this works is, I'll read it out as it is. 2 battle companies have clashed upon a battlefield, engaged in an open war. The 2 leaders must show their skill and strength now more than ever, inspiring their followers to fight on in the face of adversity. Hobbits, everything's adversity, just trying to climb stairs. Their legs are so small.
And they're so lethargic.
Indeed, whichever leader can slay the most will no doubt win the day. So this works. Both players roll a d6 with the highest player choosing their table edge. So I'm going to roll black, you can roll a red, I got a 5.
I got 4.
And Alan got a 4. So I would pick my board edge. I'm going to pick the edge over at the back here, because my models are already there, which means Alan would have this one. Very, very simplistic.
As we are.
Indeed. This is the board we're using today. It's set up to be somewhat realistic. And
it's a bit of a mismatch.
Yes. That poor hobbit who's like, I just built my house here and then I didn't realise what it was like.
It's just a dead forest.
Yeah.
A Rohan town.
Seemingly, yeah.
And obviously a Roman Colosseum.
Yeah, and then a cave over yonder that looks like Gollum could have come from it. So yes, so I would place my models within 12 inches along my board edge. Then you would do the same. So the objective, whichever leader can slay the most, will be a victor. Note that if your leader is missing this game, use one of your other heroes in the battle company with the highest points cost. And if they're both the same, you choose. Mm-hmm. And then the game lasts until the end of a turn in which one battle company is reduced to 25 or less of its starting models. So it's a very simple mission to start with. It's probably just as well, because you've never played this before, have you?
Never.
You have played other games that use the same system. And what we've done for ease is I've printed off the reference sheets. I will just stress I do own the book. But I've printed them off just, there you go, to be able to get to the relevant pages quick enough. So because you've never played it all, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how it works.
Great.
The start of the turn, you each roll a die for priority. Whoever gets the highest has priority that turn. And then they would move, then your opponent would move. Mm-hmm. You would shoot, then your opponent would shoot.
Each model separately, or do you move as a group?
Each guy is individual and they can move as they want, but so I would move all my models.
What I meant is, does one guy move, then one guy move?
No, I move all my models, you then move all your models.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking.
I then shoot all my models, you shoot all your models, etc. And then we do fight, which is if we're in close combat with each other, and then the end phase. So exactly like Legends of the Old West, although it was about a year ago we last played that. So this can be somewhat of a refresher in general. Other than that, I'll talk you through everything as we go. We both have normal bows which shoot 24 inches, but if you want to fire your bow, you can only move up to half of your normal move, which for a Rohan model is 6, and for a Hobbit is 4.
Oh.
So your leader, which is Gamelin, the guy with sword and shield, every time he gets a kill, you'll get a victory point. Anyone else who gets kills, they just get experience, but no victory points. Mm-hmm. With me, it's Bilbo and his little book of stories. As I said, all the other missions, or a lot of the other missions, are very, very well tailored towards Hobbits. Because they're very good at swarming and stuff, but swarming will kill you. But I can't get victory points for that, because Bilbo has to be the one doing the killing. Yeah. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the camera set up so you can see each other's deployments. Mm-hmm. I'll deploy mine, and we'll move across and deploy yours. Yeah. I will find somewhere to put our sheets as well, so they're out of the way of the battle, and we'll be back in a second.
Cool.
So here we have it. I've marked out my 12 inches with some dice. I'm going to hand Alan the tape measure, and he can mark off 12 inches while I set up my models.
Cool. Further than you think.
I get that a lot.
Oh my god. No, you don't.
No, it would have worked. It would have worked had you said it's longer than you think. But...
Would it though? Would it?
Would it? Would it? Would.
Yes, would.
Would.
Okay.
So I do have Big Bilbo and Little Bilbo. It's old school Bilbo, not Martin Freeman Bilbo. Oh, bold. Right, so that's my models all set up. I've got 2 archers here, along with a hero. I've got 2 archers over here, along with a hero. Then I've got the rest of my guys in kind of a line, because hobbits take forever to get anywhere, so...
Cool.
And you've already set your models up.
Yes.
So we'll go across and have a look at those.
Yep, so I have my leader guy with a spear dude.
Yep, the throwing spear.
I'm really good with the sort of military terminology
yes,
here.
You are.
I've got my other leader guy who is pointy downy spear dude.
Indeed.
With
to differentiate.
A guy with a bow.
Indeed.
Because I thought good for melee and distance.
Indeed.
And then I've got a little cachet, a little sort of group over here, which is a bow and 2 sword dudes.
Nice. Now, with regards to your throwing spears and hobbits who can throw stones, one of the advantages of this is when you run into combat with someone, so you do your full move into base combat,
Oh, they're throwing spears.
You can throw the spear as you're running in.
Oh, I thought they were just stabby things.
Oh, you can stabby. But yes. So what it means is you get to make a shooting attack in your charge. So you charge and you throw the spear in as you go.
Right.
Hobbits do the same with rocks. With your shooting, it's your normal shoot value, which for you I think is 4+.
Shoot value comes under what?
So you'll have F for fight, and it'll have two numbers. It'll have your first, which is your close combat.
Yeah.
And then it'll have a number with a plus, which is what you need to hit.
So that's 4+.
Yes,
yeah.
I'll just quickly show for anyone who is watching this and has never played
I was
before.
looking for something that was labelled S or...
MV is movement. F
value.
is fight. The first one is your close combat, which in this case is 3. The second is your shoot value, which is what you need to roll or higher.
Okay.
To keep it simple. Your strength is 3. Your defense is 3. Attacks and wounds are 1. And then your courage.
You just call me?
Your courage is 3. Right. And then, like I said here, you've got might, will, and fate. Fate works as like a special save. Mm-hmm. So if you're about to die, you can roll a d6 to spend a fate and roll a d6. On a 1, 2, 3, you still die. On a 4, 5, or 6, you save it. Mm-hmm. Might you can use in a number of different ways, but the main one is to influence dice rolls, so you can increase like a hit roll or a wound roll by 1 if you've got might. Nice. So what we would do now is we'll get ready to get set up, make sure that we put the kids back in a cage so they don't interfere, and then we'll do priority and we'll get going. Cool. So just to recap, it is going to be a learning game, so there might be times where it doesn't flow as quickly as maybe one of our other games might. We'll still try and keep it as stupid as always. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we'll be back in a second to get going. So now what we're going to do is I'm using black dice, you're using red dice for the purposes of this roll, and it's our priority. See who acts first. So I got a 5. Okay, got a 5. Now, what would normally happen if this was anything other than first turn?
Yeah.
It would be whoever in a draw, whoever had it last time, the other person would get it. Yeah. But because the first time, we'll re-roll. 4.
5.
Fair enough. So you have priority. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I said, you can move as normal.
Yeah.
I'll just get that all set up. Right, so now your guys can move 6 as standard, or 3 if you want to shoot your bows.
And the range on the bow is 24 or something.
24 inches, and their strength 2.
So let's get an idea of what 24 is actually quite a lot.
It's fairly, you can basically, because we start 12 inches on each, you can hit each other straight away.
Yeah, basically.
But what we use is like a true line of sight. Uh-huh. So you have to actually be able to see part of said model. Yeah. And if there is scenery in the way, all you do is you roll to hit as normal. Yeah. If you hit, you then do an in the way test. Yeah. And depending on what that bit of scenery is, you'd roll to see whether you hit it or not.
So this guy can't quite. I would have to move forward like an inch.
Yeah, but he can move up to 3 inches and still
shoot.
Yeah,
you'll be a line of sight.
Yeah, you'd be -1 to hit for moving, but whether you move 1 inch or 3, you're still -1 to hit. Yeah. So if it gets you in a better tactical position, moving the full distance is fine. It's whatever suits that model best.
Right. Well, I'm going to move just 2 inches forwards to this little outcroppy thing. And then we move everyone first before I do anything, don't we?
Yes, so you'd move all your models that you're going to move, and then I'd move all of my models.
Okay. I'm going to move him 6, so he'll go up to there. Do I need to do a walk around?
With something like that, you would either walk around it or you can walk over it as normal. If it's more than half of your height, then you have to climb.
So that's not a climbing thing.
No, you can easily walk over
skip
that.
Over it.
Yeah. But things like that are basically just there to give a little bit of like a distraction with regards to scenery. And a lot of the scenery, it's the first time we've tried it out. We're just painting up more and more now, so I'm painting up some more ruins and things like that, but yeah, it's the first time we've showed it off, so I'm quite excited to be using it. I do plan once that you've got this down a bit more, and once elves are painted up and things like that, because that's who you want to use, isn't it, Mirkwood elves?
Yeah, I want to go for the elves.
Yeah, once they're all painted up, I'm very much thinking one weekend when
Too far.
my better halves at work
Yes.
will arrange like a day of just like basically a full day of battle companies. Because a game, once you know what you're doing, can tend to take about half an hour, depending on the mission. So I thought we'd get a few people over and we just film it in a day and see what happens.
Sounds good.
But so it would move on to my movement now.
Yep, your movement.
Right, so let's get these hobbits a shifting. Now these hobbits are running full pelt. Well, as much as a hobbit can. So we are using this as a full clump of forest, which is why it's on a base. So they're not individual trees.
So you can't move in between them?
You can move in between them. It's just like for the purposes of shooting, that's a whole forest. I can't shoot you, you can't shoot me through it.
Oh, I see.
Because it's like a dense, thick piece.
A thicket.
Yeah. There are special rules for travelling through it and such, and we will cover those at some point. But it's not relevant until we actually get to it. So I've done my movement, you've done your movement, now you have your shooting, of which, was it just one of your bowmen?
Only one bowman who moved the less than 3.
Yes.
So it was this guy.
So you'd pick which target you wish to shoot at.
Yep. Probably scythe face.
Yep, so this is a bowman, because he's got a bow.
He's got a scythe.
It's because everybody comes with a hand weapon, and I had 2 farmer maggots, so I converted one up to be a bowman.
Okay. So the distance is fine.
Yep, he's
20.
Definitely in. So normally you would hit on a 4s, but you moved, so you would be 5 or 6 would hit. But
I shouldn't have moved. I should have anticipated you moving forwards. But
well, we live and we learn, don't we?
Well, some of us do.
Yes, this is true. So 5s to hit. Because
okay, how many am I rolling?
It's just 1 dice, just 1 shot.
You want to shoot into the dice thing?
Yeah.
Colosseum? Got a 5?
So you got a 5, so it hits.
Right.
So now it would be the strength of the bow, which is 2,
right,
against the defence of my little tiny hobbits, which is 3. So it's a 5 or 6 wounds.
6.
And it's a 6. So the hobbit is killed because I don't have any kind of save.
Yay!
And then you'd mark a little...
I killed a hobbit!
Yeah, you did. You'd mark a little 1 in the experience bar to show that you'd killed something, and it's of one of the archers.
Yeah. Let's say this one.
Yep. So I moved fully, so I get no shooting back. There's no combat because no one's in base combat, so we'd go straight over to priority again.
Okay.
So again, black die for me, red die for you.
3.
So you get priority again.
Hooray!
So yeah, you would, again, your guys who want to shoot, you can either stay where they are or move half.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to start off with this guy. He's going to move a full 6
Yeah.
to get behind here.
Using the cover.
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect that if you guys.
These guys, I think he's going to creep around a little bit further here, but he's only going to go 3.
A creeping kid.
Creepy McCreeper.
Indeed.
The throwing spear, once I throw that, have I lost it?
No. He's assumed you would pick it up. That would be awesome, though, for me. Less so for you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not quite what you'd want at all. You can throw a throwing spear up to 8 inches, so you don't have to do it in combat.
Right.
So if you're 8 inches away, you can throw that spear at someone, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Well, I say fine.
When you say fine, what do you...
That's fine for me, although for 6 inches away, I can throw stones at you. So the way the Middle-earth strategy battle game works, and it carries over to battle companies, is only ever a third of your company or your warband, or depending on what you're playing, can have bows or ranged weapons. Which includes hobbits. However, all hobbits have the ability to throw stones, so they slightly break that rule.
Okay.
Scumbags that they are.
That's everyone moved.
Cool, so we'd go across to my movement now. Alright, so now I need to... I'm 1 archer down, aren't I? So, and my little hobbits only move 4, bless them.
Oh.
Now, Hobbits are really good in terms of their shoot values, a bit better than yours, so they hit on 3s or more. So it's never as much of an issue if you decide to like move them before they shoot.
Hmm.
So I'm just working my little hobbits across. And obviously, hobbits don't lend themselves well to climbing, as you'd imagine. Tiny legs.
I guess.
And in keeping for every game we play, I'm trying to smash as much scenery as I can,
Do you know
whilst
what?
I can.
I do feel a bit of an apology to our viewers, you know, because I think the scenery here is beautiful. Unfortunately, the lighting isn't picking it up that well on the camera. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, it's.
If you're here in person, this looks really good. Whereas I'm looking on the screen of the camera and it looks dark and.
It's true. I brighten it up in post production. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Mess around with things. Yeah.
Look at you with your
Some
skills.
of the Rumbleslam ones we film because of the lighting we use at like the gaming club. It looks basically like a shadowed room, so I have to lighten it up and things like that.
Oh,
so
right, I see.
I mean, I won't do it too much because it starts to make the colours look weird. But yeah, I can brighten up a little bit.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is why I don't worry about it as much. Obviously, we are like we talked about last video. We're going to get better lighting and stuff.
Because I'm really impressed with a lot of this scenery.
It's gorgeous.
Not only because I helped you make this.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of, obviously, some of the rocks and stuff we helped build. Oh, sorry, we built. And then, obviously, just the rest of it. It's nice to see a fully...
salvaged?
A virtually fully painted up table. It's quite nice. The only thing that aren't are the castle and the manor.
Yeah.
Which haven't been in shot this whole game, so it's...
Nice.
It's irrelevant. It's a nice little fenced off area. But anyway, it moves on to your shooting because you had priority.
Right, I'm going to start off with my archer again.
That one guy, yep.
That one guy. Now, I only moved 3, so he's still a thing.
Yeah.
I'm debating, have I got line of sight for him, for other scythe guy?
Yes, you do.
Right, I'd like to shoot at him.
Yep.
So I need a 5 or a 6, is that correct?
It is, yes, because you moved.
Oh,
And
it's a 3.
You failed.
Rats!
Indeed. As I was saying, though, if it was, say, one of your throwing spear guys, you would have the ability to use Mike to push the dice up by 1.
Okay.
It wouldn't help you in that instance, but it would help you in other instances.
Right, well, my throw spear guy here
Is well out, because 8 inches.
Is it 8?
8 for a throwing spear, 24 for a bow. Or
Why
24...
don't I remember numbers?
24 for a bow for me, or 6 for a stone.
Right, okay. I'll never remember that.
No, you would. Bless you. And all who'll one day sail in you. So, this one of my favourite models here with his little mutton chops. This guy is just going to take a straight shot back at your archer.
Cool.
Normally I would need a 3, but because I moved, I need a 4. So
You
I
got
hit.
6? Right.
Strength 2, your defence is 3.
On a bow, the bowman's strength defense is 3, yeah.
So I need a 5. And I do not get it.
So you hit, but I wasn't hurt.
Absolutely. And because I didn't cause a wound, I don't get the experience. This guy is going to attempt to shoot at your leader.
Okay.
He's well in, however, I will have to take an in the way test. So first things first is I try and hit, and it's a 4+, as it was for the last shot. And I missed, so it's irrelevant. My second guy is going to take the same shot. And that's a 6, so it hits. Now what I need to do is you check the chart and it tells you in there, like, certain things. Because I played before, I know that that's he's covered by the ruins. And because of the amount of the model that's covered, a 4 or more it hits, a 1, 2 or 3 it hits the ruin itself.
Okay.
And it's a 4, so it would
Hey.
potentially hit your model. Now I need to try and wound him.
Okay.
Now your guy has a shield, which puts his defense up by 1.
If that's correct.
It is indeed. So it puts it up to a 4, but it means I still hit on a 5. So, and once again, I fail quite dramatically. So that's all my shooting. That's all your shooting. We'd go to close combat, but there isn't any. So then we move on to priority for the next round. So priority now, I get a 1.
I got 1.
So it would automatically go to
to
me
you.
because you had it last time. Exactly. So I'm going to move little Merry Not Merry.
And I'm sure as when we played the last game of this rule base.
Yeah, when we played Legends of the Old West.
Yeah, there was always somewhat. Once you got further into the game, it was almost more advantageous to be second rather than first.
It can be, yeah. Especially like before when you said, "Oh, I should have waited, and I should have not moved my guy and let you
walk into range."
Yeah, because on that.
Because then you could just go, "Well, then I won't. I'll just stand here."
Yes. So then it would move across to your movement.
Thank you. Right.
Slide it. I'll just pan the camera across.
Nice. Right, so what's the range for this dude?
That guy, 8 inches on a throwing spear, and he can move half to still be able to use it.
So he can move up to 4 and then still
3,
be able to...
because he's 6 inches.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
half of his movement.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
That was my fault.
So dumb. Right, okay. Well, I'm going to have him... If I step him here, I can still shoot past him. Yeah.
You can't shoot past your own models if they're directly in the way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like a straight line.
Yeah. I might charge these guys.
Yep, so what would happen is you'd run your model directly into base contact.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're good and I'm good, we can't shoot into combats.
Right, yeah.
But evil can, because, evil reasons.
Evil reasons. He's going to stay here.
Yeah.
Here. And now, to move my other guys.
Yeah, which is across yonder. Not yonder. That's something different.
Yondu. I'm going to move my leader guy into base with him.
In terms of this particular mission, I have never ever won it as Hobbits. I won it when I was playing as my Rohan.
Right.
But yeah, I've never ever won it as Hobbits at all. Oh. For obvious reasons. They're little. So, yes. So
now, if he only moves 3, the furthest he can get is there, and he's not going to be...
Yeah, so you might as well charge over forward.
So, 6 takes him to there. Right.
Boom.
Okay, so that's my guys moved.
Yep, so then it would go to my shooting first. I can't shoot at...
Oh, that's a bow! I thought he had a hand... I thought that was a sword he was holding. Can I move him back 3 inches?
I'm okay with that, yeah, I am teaching you how to play.
We're back to the Alan Mulligans here.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've needed to give you a mulligan.
I honestly thought he was holding a sword. Dang!
I was just pleased to see you, man.
Right, we'll move him back 3 to there. Whoopsie.
Nice, so then it would go to my shooting because I have priority.
Yes.
Both of my guys moved. These 2 guys here. I can't shoot at him because he's in close combat. So I'm going to aim this guy at him first.
Okay.
4s because I moved. Missed. And then this guy has to shoot at him because he can't shoot past that because of the combat.
Mm-hmm.
6. So that hits. No in the way test because it's out in the opens. As the shot back will be to me. And then 3. So he misses. Had I had might, I could have pushed it up, but it wouldn't have been enough anyway. But I just like to keep reiterating that might's a thing.
Yeah.
Now this guy over here, my last archer guy, which is mutton chops there, he can only shoot at him.
Yeah.
Because he's in blocking line.
Yeah.
So 4s. That's a 2, so it misses. Mm-hmm. So then it would go over to your shooting, where your archers both moved. No, one of your archers moved half.
He didn't move at all.
Yep.
He moved half.
1 spearman moved fully, 1 throwing spear guy moved half.
And he moved full.
Yes.
He moved full, but he's melee anyway. He moved full into combat melee. He moved full into combat melee.
So which shot would you like to do first?
My non-moved archer at the back there, coming straight for him with the scythe there.
Yes.
So
you'd roll a hit, so he didn't move, so it would be a 4.
Ooh.
And you got a 3, which is that there.
Damn it!
Now your guy might be within 8 inches.
Yeah,
I believe he is.
Try him.
The one good thing about Middle Earth strategy battle game is you can pre-measure as well.
Okay. He's 8 and a bit.
So he did move, so he'd be at -1, but his throwing's still the same, so 5s. And you've got a 4, but he does have might if you wanted to push it up. The one thing to remember...
Is that allowed to reroll?
It would mean... No, it would just mean you'd move the dice roll up by 1, but it would use the 1 might he has. It would mean it pushes the dice roll to a 5.
Yeah.
And then you would need 4s to hit, because it's strength 4 against defence.
Right.
Strength 3 against defence 3.
Should we try it?
Yeah, might as well risk it. So you spend the might that he has.
Yeah.
So you'd rub it off your sheet, or you'd make a note that he's used it.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got it for the rest of the game, but it hits now, because you put the dice roll from what you got to a 5. Because you got a 4, didn't you? And
yes,
you
I got
to a 5.
4,
yeah.
yeah.
So now you'd roll to wound. So 4s, because it's 3 on 3.
Oh!
And you got a 2.
What a waste.
But had you not, then you'd be saying something different. So
I guess, yeah. Right, he was my other leader guy. So
he is. So I said, yeah, you can either do that or you can rub it out. The one thing to remember though is as you progress through the game, you get multiple. So you can have up to 3, I think it is. So you need to remember what the starting thing is always. So if you have 3 and then you use 2 during the game, you have to remember to give yourself your 3 back afterwards. Okay. This archer, anyway.
Yes. Him.
Yep.
Against him,
of course. So he did move, so it would be 5s. And you got 1. Ouch.
I'm not rolling into that thing anymore.
I know, I stopped. Although, that's really sturdy considering like these bits of scenery are just polystyrene.
Yeah.
Or like a moulded, injected version of. They're really tough. Like there's no chipping or anything while rolling dice on them.
Okay, cool.
So, it now moves to close combat. Whoever has priority chooses the order of the close combats.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't make a massive difference, we'll go with this one over here first. I always like to save the leaders' ones to last. So it's just 1-on-1.
Okay.
So we each just roll 1 die, because we each have 1 attack. So I got a 6. You got a 1.
Oh, no.
So what happens is you lost, so you get pushed an inch back,
yes.
and then I have to try and wound you. Now, if you'd rolled a 6 and I rolled a 6, it would be a draw, so we'd look at our fight values.
Right.
Yours is 3, mine is 1, so you would have won.
Oh.
So that's how it works, and you can use might to put your fight value up by 1, but it can never exceed your basic of 6.
Okay.
Sorry, you put your dice roll up by 1, but because your dice roll can never go higher than 6, if you roll a 6, you can't do anything with it. You just have to accept it. So I'm 2, you're 4 because of your shield.
Okay.
You don't roll anything, so it's just same as shooting. Okay. So I need to get a 5 or a 6.
Right.
And I got a 2, so I didn't wound you. So that's just the end of that combat. And then we'd move across here.
Yep.
Now remember, this guy does have might, and so does mine. These are both 2 of our heroes. But it's not my main leader.
It's like an adult attacking a child.
I know, it's like... Oh, yeah. 1.
6. Hey, it's a reverse from last time.
Indeed. So you couldn't physically use might, and there'd be no point me using might. Yeah. Even if I'd rolled a 5 and I used the might to put it up to a 6, you'd still win on fight value.
Yeah.
So I can be pushed away, but had I not, I'd be trapped. And when you trap a model, you get double the attacks on it. So you'd now roll the 1. Now your strength 3, that wounds me.
Okay.
Because I'm strength.
That wounds me.
I'm strength 3. Your your strength 3. I'm defense 3. So you need 4s, and you got a 5. So he gets the experience regardless of whether I save this or not.
Okay.
I would spend a fate because he's a hero to try and save it, and I got a 2, so I'm unsuccessful. Had I got 4, I would have spent the fate. And he would have survived, but you'd still get the experience point.
Right.
So you get the experience point for killing him. You also get a victory point.
Because he's a leader.
Because your leader killed a model. You always keep your dead or your wounded to one side, because after battles you roll for them.
Yes.
Which is what makes battle companies different from Middle-earth standard game.
Okay.
And it fits more into the narrative style of games we like. So then it would be the end of the turn, and it would move on to priority. Right, so far you're winning 1-0.
Yay.
I've lost 2 models, you've lost none, and it's time for priority. So I got a 4.
Ooh, I can't even pick up a dice. I also got a 4.
So you get it because I had it last time.
Yes.
So there's your tape measure.
Thank you. Right then. I think...
Retool.
Rito. Shabba-dabba-dabba-lam. We move him into base with him.
Yep.
I'll move him back into base with him.
Yep.
Don't need to measure for that. This guy, my man.
One thing to remember is just like in Legends of the Old West, you can be in combat with multiple people. And it works exactly the same. So if you've got 3 people around you, you just roll 3 dice against the other person's 1.
I can still use this as melee, can I?
Yes, so you'd run in, and that's good because we can actually show how that works.
Okay.
So you make the shooting attack as you're running in. So you're at -1 to hit because you're moving, but you would hit as normal on a 5.
Right.
So you do that now, sorry.
Right.
It's done straight away because if you kill someone, the combat never takes place.
Okay,
you run in
so
and
what
shoot.
am I rolling? 5 pluses.
Yes, just as you normally would for a shot.
No, it's just a 1.
It's a 1.
Never mind. Why do I even bother?
Japan.
Japan. Right. He's going to go into...
Not Timmy Mallet.
there.
That's not his name.
Is he dead?
Oh, it should be his name.
No,
Oh,
he's
is
not
Timmy Mallet dead?
Google
it.
Yes.
It's probably not the best time to
Didn't he
Google
just die
it.
recently? Oh, no, that was Les Dennis.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Wasn't it?
I don't know. If you just...
I'm just naming 70s and 80s comedians.
If Les Dennis isn't dead,
He is
I
now.
apologise.
Apologise to whom?
Other Les Dennis?
Oh, right. He's not going to move. And... Well, and now this is where there's the disadvantage. Because you're in 8 there, whereas if you move, then I'm screwed. Screwzilda.
Indeed.
DeVille.
So
Well, let's just move from 3 to there.
did you decide not to move that archer for a specific reason?
I did move him.
Oh, right.
Yes, he has moved.
That's fine. It's just because he was moved away from, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Right, so
There you
then
go.
it would go across to my movement. So, normally, hobbits would be able to do the same as you, which is run in and throw something.
Alright.
But I can't do that because the combat's already taken place.
Yeah.
And they throw stones. So I'm going to get all 3 around there to protect me. Because you can't shoot me if we're in combat. You need to physically be able to get in as well. So they're in combat together. But yeah, so he can't get in and these can't get in because they can't physically get in.
Mm-hmm.
I say get in a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's the best thing to do against hobbits because they do tend to swarm you, like in that example over here.
Yeah.
So in an area like this where they physically can't get round to you, that's actually the best way to beat them because they're going to be throwing a lot of dice otherwise. So there's no shooting really to take place.
There's not.
On either side. So because you have priority, you can choose the order in which you do the combats.
Right then. I think I will start with this guy. No, we've done him.
Oh no, he still gets to attack as normal in combat.
Oh right, oh sweet.
That's what's so good about it. That's what makes hobbits pretty vicious. They run in, throw a stone, and then they fight you in close combat.
Well then, I'll roll him.
So it's a straight 1-on-1. I got 3.
I got 6.
So you win. So I get pushed back. Now, when it's your own model behind you, that model can also be shoved back.
But if it was an enemy...
You can get trapped, and that's when they'd roll double dice. So you need a 4 to wound. And it's a 3. And you spent your might on him before, didn't you? When he...
yes, I did.
Yes. Otherwise, you could have used it to push it up.
Mm-hmm.
So this one now, the next
Yeah.
1-on-1. I got a 1.
I also got a 1.
So your fight value is higher than mine, so you still win.
Okay.
So then 4's again to wound.
I also got
Again,
a 1.
you got
Wait a
1.
minute. Yeah, there are other numbers on this dice.
There are, yes. So now in this combat, it would be 2 versus 1.
Okay.
And over there, it would be 3 versus 1. But this is my leader, so it's quite important for me, this one. So you got a 4. I also got 2 4s, so I'm going to spend a point of might, which is Bilbo's might, to put that up to 5, because otherwise I'd lose, because your fight value is better than mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I win the combat, you get pushed back an inch. Now what I'm going to do, because if Bilbo does the wound, I get a victory point, and if the other guy does the wound, I don't. So the red is Bilbo.
Okay.
Um,
Oh.
So strength of 2 against a 4, so a 5 is enough.
So he's dead?
Yes.
Right.
So
I don't even need to mark anything, I'll just take him off.
No, you take him off and I get a mark for experience and a victory point. So we're on 1 each now.
Yes.
And then we have this combat down here, which is 3 against 1. So you get 1 dice, I get 3.
Yep.
Hit is going to hit.
1 again, I'm changing dice.
And so I got a 4, so I would win that. Now you are trapped because you're against the wall, which means I would roll 6 dice. So I need a 5. So I didn't get one on the first 3. And I didn't get one on the second 3.
Phew.
Indeed. So it would then go straight across to the next priority. So I got a 4.
Oh, sorry.
You got a 4 also.
Yeah.
So it would go
Came out my
to
hand a bit
me
there.
this time because you had priority
I had it
last time. Yes.
Yep.
So they're all still in combat with him. Bilbo is gonna get him, and you have to go in a straight line, and it has to be to the closest point to the model. So I can't sneakily go around the side, so I can get more models in. But I'm gonna shoot with my stone. So I did move. So there's my tripod. I did nothing.
Phew.
You got nothing, kid. He's gonna charge in.
Oh.
He got nothing, kid.
Phew.
So he gets in there like that. And as I said, I can't actually get the rest in because of the way it's bottlenecked.
Yeah.
But he can.
Right.
So 3 on 1 there, 1 on 1 there, 3 on 1 there. But once you charge someone in, which I'm sure you're going to at that side, so it's your movement now.
Yep.
If you charge someone in, the combats have to split up.
Yeah.
Much like in Necromunda and all the other games.
Sure. Can you pass me the tape measure,
Can
please?
indeed.
Thank you. Right then, let's see. Well, he can't get up to them, so I can only move this guy in. So
but it at least separates the combat a little bit for you.
I can move him over here for
Ready,
later.
yeah.
Well, I mean, even if I move, because you can't shoot at any because everyone's doing combat. Right, there we go. And this guy.
Yep. So you've got that archer over there.
Let's move him there.
Cool. So Parker has come to join us.
Yes.
Say hello, Parker.
Hello.
Good boy. So it was my priority, so I picked the order of the combats.
Okay.
I'm going to do this single one-on-one combat because I always like to get those out of the way first.
Right.
I got a 2.
I got 4.
So you win, so it's this kind of domino effect of pushing. And 4's to wound.
Right. 6.
That's a 6. I can't save it, so that guy would get an extra experience.
Oh, great. Yep.
But it's not a victory point, there's your pencil.
Thank you.
Now we're going to do the 3 on 1.
Wait a minute, is that the guy with the pointy down?
Yeah, it's pointed down guy.
So that is a victory point.
No, it's only your captain or your main character.
Right.
So for you, it's Gamelin. For me, it's Bilbo.
So why did we have 2 boss characters?
We don't. We have 1 boss character each. You have 2 guys who support him.
Right.
So you have 3 heroes, but only one of them is your leader.
Oh, right. Okay.
With yours, it's Gamelin. With me, it's Bilbo.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because Gamelin killed someone before, he got a victory point. Bilbo killed someone before, he got a victory point.
Right.
Your other 2 guys just kill people, just get experience. My other 2 guys, one of which is now not on the board, victory point.
Yeah.
Right, so this combat here is 3 on 1.
Okay, right. Where's...
So I got a 5 as my highest.
I got a 1. I'm guessing that's...
But you're not trapped, at least.
Yay!
So I'm going to use 1 dice as red for Bilbo. Out, and I need a 5.
Oh.
So I get the kill, but I don't get the victory point. 1 to 3 him, 4 to 6 mini Bilbo. So it's mini Bilbo who would get the experience. So he's dead. He gets the experience point.
Cool.
And there's Parker with cards. Don't worry, I will remove your dead model.
Oh. Oh,
Well, there was only so many
forget.
times I could keep going.
No,
You can remove your dead model. And you're like, no, I cannot.
hoping you may forget.
So we have a one-on-one here, which is where your spearman charged in to basically support your captain.
Yeah.
So these two. So it's a one-on-one. You
Cool.
win. I'm trapped, so you get 2 dice.
Okay.
So 4s.
I got one.
And he's dead, so your other hero now gets...
He's not a hero.
He is.
He's not?
He
There's
is.
only the pointy down.
2 spearman guys are heroes, and your captain Gamelin.
Oh, okay.
So he gets an experience point.
Oh, okay.
Well, they all get experience points if they kill, but
Yeah.
it means he can use might and things like that. He just doesn't get a victory point.
So, yeah, so he gets an experience point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it's 2-on-1. Your captain against... Or lieutenant. I can never remember whether they're called sergeants and lieutenants or captains and lieutenants.
Who knows?
I think
I'm sure people do know. We don't know.
It used to be, I think, lieutenants and a captain and lieutenants, but I think now it's lieutenant and 2 sergeants. But I don't think it matters as long as we differentiate.
I got 2.
I got 2 5s, so you can be pushed now.
Yeah.
So you're not something words things. So I need 5s again. So I got a 5.
No.
You now can use your fate to try and save it. So on a 1 to 3 he's fine. On a 4 to 6 he's not.
Right.
He's fine. You've got no fate now. And on a 1 to 3, my hammer guy gets the victory point. On a 4 to 6, it's my archer. It's my archer. Did I give you back the pen? Oh yeah, because you just killed me, didn't you?
I did.
Bless you. So what we do is, that's the end of that round. How many models have you lost? 2?
2.
And I've lost 4. So neither of us are at near 25% yet.
No.
So it would go on to just priority again.
Okay.
2. 4. So I've got it this time.
Well done.
Curiouser and curiouser. So I'm going to charge my archer in to your leader. Hits on a 4 because he moved, but I got a 1. And he charges in as well. My archer's going to charge your archer, which is over here. So, again, 4 to throw a stone, he misses.
Yep.
Bilbo's going to charge in.
With his book.
He hits, because he's throwing a stone. And then it's a 5 to wound. And I got a 1, so I didn't. He's going to charge in. Have you got the tape measure so I can just...
Yes. There you go.
I don't think, because of their tiny little legs, anyone else can get in. No, because it has to be a straight line, so he's not close enough. But he can just get up there ready. So everybody has a control zone of like an inch, which is like a bubble around them. So you can't go in other people's of that.
Yeah.
So we'll move across here now, where I'm sure you're going to do some damage control.
So he's going to move into him.
Yeah, and if your archer can actually get in it, then splits up the fight again.
He can get in to there. Can he join that fight? And then it's...
He would have to go to there, because it has to be the closest.
Why?
Because you've got to go in a straight line, as I said before. So you've got to go in a straight line as close to the model as possible.
Well, that's to do the charging attack, though, isn't it?
But that's what that is. You're charging in. So you can't just go like, oh, I'm going to wander around there and attack, which is how I couldn't get round before.
I thought that was because you wanted to do the special move, where you do the 2 attacks.
No, well, you'll get 2 attacks, so that's 2 on 1 guy.
No. I meant when you get the early attack on the point of moving.
That's only if you're the first person.
I thought that was the only thing that had the rule about it has to...
No. A charge always has to be a straight line.
Right.
And it always has to be to the closest point of the model. It's what I was saying before. I had 3 guys, but because Bilbo had to charge to the closest point, the other guys couldn't get in.
No, I thought when you were doing that was because of the...
No, the charge is a charge. Yeah. The throwing is just an incidental.
Oh, okay.
It's just something that if somebody isn't engaged and you have a throwing weapon, when you get close enough, you can throw.
Okay.
Like, he couldn't throw because he was already in combat with him.
Yeah.
Same as when he joined that combat there, he couldn't do the throw.
Yeah.
But no, you always have to charge as close as possible. It's to stop shady practicing and such.
Sure.
So I had priority so we could split it however I desire. So we're going to do this one-on-one first. So I always like to get one-on-ones out of the way. Your archer against my archer. I got a 6.
I got 1.
So you move back an inch and I deforest. Oh, I'm going to have ents on my tail. 5s. I got a 1, so nothing happens. So here is 2-on-1.
Okay.
It's my leader and my hero against your guy. Now, my hero has a point of might, but my leader doesn't. So I got a 6 and a 2.
I got a 5.
So I win.
Yep.
Red is going to be my leader. Black is the other chap. So black does it.
Okay.
You still have your fate though. So on a 1, 2, 3, he dies. 4, 5, or 6, he's fine.
Okay. Well, I'll use that. So 1.
So he dies.
Oh no!
And
It's a fingerling.
it is a fingerling, darling. You are right. And then over here, even if you had got round before, I can separate the combat as my priority how I want. So I would have still just done it the same, where it's those two against him and then him on him.
No, but if I had been able to get around there...
Oh, there was physically no way movement-wise you would have been able, because you would have had to have been here to get around his control zone. So you would have had
Control zone?
Yes, because like I said, everybody has a 1-inch bubble
Right.
that you can't walk through.
Okay.
So another reason I couldn't go around before. So you would have had to go in a loop around it, which again you couldn't because you've got to go in a straight line. It's what's been hindering me here, because otherwise you'd have been getting 3-on-1s constantly. So it's 2-on-1 against my archer. Okay. So I don't. Well, I suppose.
5 and a 3.
So yep. I get pushed back an inch. 2 attacks on, 2 wounds on me. So you roll 2 dice.
Yep.
4 or more to wound.
5.
Yes. So now just randomise between the 2 which one got the kill.
Okay.
So 1 to 3 archer, 4 to 6 you throwing spear, for instance, or however you want to do it.
And it's 1 archer.
So it goes
let's
archer.
make it that way. Yeah. I can't remember if he's one of the archers. He isn't an archer that's had anything yet, so...
No, it was the other archer at the other side.
Okay.
This one here, your leader against my normal bod. I got a 2.
You got 1.
And you've used your might.
I have.
Yep. So push back an inch. 5 or more.
No, I haven't used the might on him. I used the might on the other guy.
Are you sure you didn't use it and haven't crossed it out?
No. I used the fate on him. I used the might on the downward spear guy who is now dead.
Yeah.
And I used the fate on my dude there.
Oh, cool. So do you want to put yours up? You basically, it means we would draw, which means you'd win on fight value.
Cool.
So 4 or more wound.
Ah, it's a 3. Never mind.
Right. So we're back and the endless Hobbit slaughter continues.
It's not really. They're doing incredibly well. They've taken out 3 Rohan fighters.
The good thing with the thing with Hobbits is they tend to lose a lot of guys early on. Once they can take one of your guys out, they then start getting the numbers advantage quite quickly, starting with 12. So they start to, just like they're doing here, they're swamping and overrunning. 5.
2.
So I get priority again.
Yep.
So my archer is going to charge into your archer. While
Stop knocking down the tree.
my ent on my desk's just freaking out. Like, you promised you wouldn't do that anymore, Daddy.
I promised a lot of things.
Indeed. So, stone throw him on him.
Okay.
Hits. 5 to wound.
Oh.
And that kills him.
Oh no! Oh no!
Stony McStone throw.
Oh.
Well, I say kills him, it doesn't, it wounds him.
I'm devastated.
You wound me. So, these guys are all pretty stuck.
They've got no one to fight.
I know they're going to have to... The thing is, if a Hobbit's out of the battle, he's out of the battle for ages. Because 4 inches.
It's forever to get around.
Yeah.
I could just go into retreat and just keep running around.
Like,
and we just have to...
like even dwarves have a 5-inch movement. And like, I can't even run away from you here, so I might as well. charge in, because I at least can then throw a stone at you.
Sure.
Which hits,
Don't
because it
kill
was
me
a
with a
6.
stone.
I need a 5 or a 6. Come on.
Don't kill me with a stone.
It's a 2. So now it's your attack. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm just gonna. The 3 of them are
Dog
just gonna
pile
go
in,
into-
yeah.
absolutely. So.
Yeah, that's fine. So. And I'm completely trapped as well, so if you win that combat, it's 6 dice on me. So we go straight to side combat. So 3 on 1. I get a 5. So you get 3 dice, yeah.
Oh no!
And you have no might amongst the... Oh, does he have any might left? The last spearman guy, not spearman down.
Yeah, because I completely ignored him, so he's still got his fate, his might.
So you can use your might to put that up to a 5.
Yay!
So now you're rolling 6 dice. And you need 4s or more.
I got them.
So 3. Right. 1 or 2, it's your leader. 3 or 4, it's this guy. 5 or 6, it's that guy. So
Yay!
that's a victory point and an extra experience point for your leader as well.
I will do.
So you're on 2 to 1 victory points now. If you lose 1 more guy, it's the end of the game. I still have to lose another 3 people because hobbits.
Right, so priority?
4.
2.
So I get it again. Priority. Scandal.
Priority, shamarity. Propority? I don't know. I'm just saying words now.
Indeed, indeed.
So that's still an archer. That hasn't changed to a swordsman.
No. So everybody moved full except these 2 guys here who only moved 2 inches.
Great.
Your move's back, sir.
I'm keeping him standing still because I've got a direct line to him. Whereas these 2 chaps, these lads, these party boys that they are from Rohan.
Yeah, Rohan, known for its partying.
Out on a booze cruise to the continent. We'll just have to move.
Yep.
So 6 would take him there. I'm going to take him here. And then 6 for him to there.
So it would then go to my shooting. So this is going to be an interesting one. I need to get down and see if I can. So I would be in range, but that blocks it. I can basically see the tip of your sword.
I was going to say, I should hope so, because I deliberately moved him there for that effect. If you then tell me, it's like, nah, I can see through that wall.
Oh no, it was whether I could see enough of the model to count it as a... There was no way in hell that would be enough to make that shot. So I've got no shooting, so it goes straight over to your shooting. Which is that one guy.
Which is just that one guy. I don't need to measure, but yeah, he's shooting at him.
Yeah.
So I'm hitting on 4 pluses.
Because you moved a bit, yep.
I didn't.
Oh, did you not?
No, I left.
Oh, yeah, 4, sorry. Yeah, I'm 3 plus with a 4.
Oh, it's a 3.
Scandal. So it would just go straight to priority.
Ding.
I got a 3.
I got 1.
Dang. Dang it. Tape measure me off.
There you go. I'm not tape measuring you off.
Come on.
Your girlfriend says I have to stop doing that. It's weird.
That's true, she actually. So... It's an interesting dynamic because I'm within throwing a stone range, because 6 inches, which means I'm also in range of you charging me. So... It's the police. So it turns out that knock at the door wasn't the police, it was Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh.
Dressed as the police.
They get you.
I know! They're coming up with new and cunning tactics.
I just tell them I'm Mormon.
Yeah. So, all my hobbits moved half.
Okay.
Except my archer, who's hidden behind a wall anyway, so it's neither sure nor year.
Thank you.
And that's the view from the sky copter. Well, I suppose it would be a sky eagle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That they do their weather reports from.
Right. He's not gonna...
I was going to say, I definitely am aware I'm 6 inches out.
Where's he gonna go? He's got nowhere to go. He can go and hide behind this bit of wall. Alright, that's my guys.
Nice. So it would then move to my shooting. I know that I can only throw 6 inches. That is 6 inches if I can see.
What? I thought I was hiding
Well,
again.
I don't know yet. I haven't checked. I would with this one. I actually think I can see enough for you to make the shot, but it's just this one guy.
Oh, I would say you can.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check on it, but the others definitely cannot. You'd position yourself.
Luckily, I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, in those kind of situations, I'll tend to, if I genuinely don't know, I'll usually get a second opinion on it.
Yeah, but then your second opinion is also going to be biased as well.
True, but, well, who else were we going to ask? You know what Pog is like.
He'll be like destroying Tokyo.
I know. He'd be like, can I put a model up my nose? No, then I'm not interested. So I did move, so it would be 4s.
That's how I lost all my Ghostbuster models.
It would still be in the way test, though. So,
okay.
1, 2, 3 or 4 missed, 5 or 6 hits.
Okay. Ooh.
And it's a 2, so it hits the wall anyway.
This game at the moment.
So it is now your shooting, but I think everybody moves full.
Everyone moved full. I didn't anticipate any range for shooting.
So it went straight to goes straight to priority, and I got a 1, so you've definitely got it this time.
Because I also got a 1.
Yes. So there you go, sir.
He's
definitely within charge range, though. We know this because I could throw a stone at you.
Yes.
If he isn't, it's because I just knocked him with a tape measure.
Yeah. I was like, well, how is he just over 6 now?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because you saw me half destroy the scenery, as I always do.
But then if I charge him in there, you're just going to swarm in with those 2.
This is true, but this is the problem you have against Hobbits, especially once it gets down to such small numbers.
Swarmy McSwarmface.
Yeah, I like to use my Hobbits much like people would use Moria goblins.
Right.
So I just like to send as many of them at you as possible.
Who else is an archer? Just him and him can throw stones.
Oh no,
He's an
all
archer.
Hobbits can throw stones.
Oh,
That's
right,
the one advantage. Well, it's one of the advantages Hobbits have because they're slow and they have very terrible fight and not much strength.
And there's always rubble around them.
Yeah. I like to imagine they just carry pockets full of them. That's why they only move 4 inches. Not because of their short legs at all. It's because they're more stoned than Hobbit.
Yes. Right, if he moved 6, where will that take him?
All the way.
Not nearly far enough at all. In fact, half the way. Because I could charge him in, but again, I'm going to have the same grouping thing from them. Unless I charged him this way. So if he charges into there, he could come and support, and then the battles would get split up as you then charged in afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, the way you do it is because I don't think him to him would be 6. But him to him would be.
Oh, actually, I could get either one for 6.
Oh.
So I could charge him into there.
Which is the one you want to do first because he's going to throw his
Yeah.
spear.
Charge him into there. But then he can't get anywhere, really. He can move slightly and try and shoot a spear, but then he couldn't shoot an arrow because 2 people would already be in combat.
Yeah, but there's these guys. I'm not going to... Because remember, Hobbits can only move 4.
Yeah. Well, I might move... Right, okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm moving this guy here.
Yep.
He's going
Charging
there.
there.
He's going there.
Yeah, he gets an attack as he runs in. So 5 or more, because you're moving.
3.
He misses. And then tape measure, so it'd be my movement back. We always knew Bilbo was definitely going to get in.
Yeah.
It's whether anyone else can as well. Nope, but they might as well move as much as possible. Ready. And these guys might as well move up here so they can try and throw a stone.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
How does this look on the picture? Remember. Not too bad. Those Hobbit.
So shooting, you've got 1 archer against either of those 2.
Yeah.
Everyone else is in combat or not line of sight.
I'll go for him with the pretty flowers.
Oh, don't shoot mini Bilbo. So you moved, so 5s.
5s.
You got a 3.
So that's a knot.
So mini Bilbo's going to shoot back. 4s because I moved. Hits.
Oh, well done. Don't kill me with a rock.
5s. Nope.
Oh, phew.
Other guy, you'll get in the way test for that statue. No, it doesn't matter. So combat, so it would be 2-on-1, 1-on-1. Which order do you want to do them in?
Let's do this guy, the 1-on-1 first.
Yep.
2.
3. So you get pushed back an incher. And then I need a 5, which I do not get. And I have no means of messing with that.
And now let's do our
2-on-1.
2-on-1. 4. Oh!
Double 1.
Phew.
Snake ears. Or eyes. I never know which. So, 2, you need to decide, you choose which of those you're going to hit because you only have 1 attack.
Better Bilbo.
Yeah, it makes the most sense. But it's not like the other things where we randomise. You're purposely choosing who you're going to smite. So you need a 4.
Right then. Oh, it's a 3.
And I've already used your might.
And I've already used my might.
So this is quite an important... This is the most important priority I think we've had so far.
Okay.
Because it's going to choose how and whose.
5.
1, so you get it. It basically means you can get everyone into combat without getting a stone thrown at you as they run in.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're not going to be 2-on-2 or 2-on-1 all the way across the board. But at least you can choose in the order of who fights who.
Well, I'm not actually sure I'm following where you're coming from in that reasoning because I'm still going to be...
Because I've got 6 models,
Yeah.
you've got 3.
Yeah.
Whichever charges you do, the Hobbits have got enough distance to then split off and make each combat 2-on-1.
Yeah, that's what...
But if you charge, then you don't get a stone thrown at you as I charge you.
Oh, right. Oh, I see. So it's only the stone throw thing, not the...
Yeah.
anything else.
I mean, the archer could back off, but then I would just swarm the other guys even more.
Of course.
So the smart play, theoretically, is to break the combats off so you're only getting 2-on-1 instead of running the archer away and then getting 3-on-1.
Mm-hmm. Right then. Well, I'm going to move him
Yep.
into here.
Yeah, because he's the close. And you get to throw your spear.
And I get to throw my spear, so we
So
do that
5.
straight off.
Yep.
5.
Hits. 4s to wound.
3.
And he used his might last time to mess with that dice, didn't he?
Did.
Yeah. Your might...
Did he?
Yeah, remember, because I said of you...
Yeah,
and you said, I forgot about him, so he has all his might and faith.
Yeah.
And then you adjusted it and won that combat. So,
Yeah.
Gamelin, how do you want to do? Or Captain?
Move him into
Yep.
him. And then he might as well move in as well. Because he can still do melee, can't he? Even though he's...
Oh, yeah. Everybody gets a hand weapon unless it says otherwise. Like, I think Gollum doesn't.
Yeah.
But he's got teeth really sharpened.
So I'll move
With
into
a tiny little rock,
him.
I assume. So, my movement... and
Yeah.
which was exactly what we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
Your priority, so you pick the order of the combats.
Let's start down here.
2-on-1.
3.
For Glorfindel.
Oh.
I just like Glorfindel. He's a good egg. 5s. So as the crow flies. So 1 to 3 Bilbo, 4 to 6 Samwise Gamgee. It's Bilbo. Ow. So that gives him an extra experience point.
Cool.
No, it's that guy there. Yeah, so he's gone. So it is the end of the game.
Right.
Because you're now down to 25%.
Right.
Parker, be careful not to bang your head, darling. I know you're a trainee policeman. This combat?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you get to pick them. Do you want to do the other combat first?
No. Right.
So I get a 1 and a 6. If you get a 6, you win.
5.
So I got 5, which would be enough. He has his fate still, though.
He does. Yeah, that one does.
So fate save, 4 or more.
Okay. Oh, it's just...
And he goes. So 1 to 3, my archer. 4 to 6, my axe guy. And it's the axe guy. So I need that for market experience. And then we'll do the last combat of the game, regardless of anything else.
I've only got one guy left.
But he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Not like
like a sort of mafia. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. So I got a 5.
Got 4.
So pushed. She can still be pushed. Right. This is red one is Bilbo. 4s. Sorry, 5s. I've got no might left or anything like that can help.
Oh!
He's got no fate, so he goes. But unfortunately, you still win the game.
Yay! All my people died, but I won?
Yes. This happens quite a lot. So what we'll do is we'll take a moment to gather ourselves, and then I'll show you how an end of game works.
Cool.
So now what we do is we work out all the end of game stuff.
Okay.
And that works in a very, very specific order. So I'm going to move some scenery so I can put the book down. I know, I've just changed the landscape forever.
Oh my god.
So you don't really need to see the book itself.
You're just proving that you've bought it and they haven't just...
It's just so I've got it in front of me.
PDFs.
I know it, but I know it has to be done in a certain order. So first we do injuries. So I'll do all mine, and then you can do all yours.
Okay.
So you have 2 separate injury types, one of which, Parker, quiet darling while we're doing this, and then you can make as much noise as you want. So you roll 2d6, and you consult a chart. So I'm going to do them in order. So my archer, 5. So he's injured. Injured means that you miss the next game. So he goes to one side and you just mark in his little injuries. My next archer, 8. So he is fine. Because 6 or more, they're fine. Third archer, 4. Just missed dead, but he's injured. Farmer Maggot, not Farmer Maggot. 8, he is okay. And then this last guy, 3. So 2 to 3 means your model is dead. So this one model is dead and he can't take part anymore.
Oh my god.
And then your heroes roll separately. They have a bigger chart.
Okay.
So 11. So impressed by the heroes' resilience and quick recovery that they are richly rewarded, the heroes' battle company immediately gains an additional D3 influence points and makes a full recovery. So that's a 2. So I get 2 extra influence points. And I'm going to explain how we work out our influence points in a minute.
Cool.
So now we're going to do yours.
Right.
So this is your characters.
Yeah, so we start with just normal...
I tend to start with normal bots. And then move up to...
So 4.
He misses the next game.
I need a pencil to...
We'll just pop them to one side for now and we'll fill those in afterwards.
My next guy...
Yep.
Whoa.
Here.
6.
6 or more, they're fine. So he's full recovery.
Okay, next
Archer,
boy is 6, 7, 8, 9.
So he's fine.
This
then you've got 1 sword.
guy, yep. And then 3.
Dead. 2 to 3 is dead. So you also have a guy who's dead.
Oh my god. Right, heroes?
Heroes, we do them separately. So first hero.
Okay.
2d6 exactly the same.
4, 5, 6, 7.
6 to 8, full recovery. Okay, darling. Push.
This guy, 4, 5.
5. He has a leg wound. It means his... you'd mark that on his sheet and his movement is permanently reduced by 1. It can get better though.
Leg wound.
I get better.
And then my big guy.
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, dead. No. This one's an interesting one. It's called It's Just a Scratch. They must miss the next game. Alternatively, you may roll again, but you have to stick with whatever the next roll is.
Sure.
So
5, 6, 7.
Full recovery.
Yay!
That could have gone
stick
very
with that
badly.
one.
Yes. So then the way it would work is for everybody who takes part gets 1 experience.
Okay.
So you mark those down. So everybody gets 1 experience. Even the guy...
Even the dead guy?
Well, he's dead, so he's irrelevant.
Oh, not the dead guy.
Yeah.
I just stabbed myself on a spear.
Yeah, you did. And then for the winning side, all 3 heroes get an experience point.
All 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Getting experience points.
So
1, 2, 3. Okay.
So does anybody have 5 experience in total?
No.
On my side, pass pencil a second. Yeah. I know nobody has 5, but it's just for formalities. So 2.
You're
3.
all about the formalities.
Yeah, I am.
You and your bureaucracy.
Oh wait, you're dead. Don't worry about it. Oh no, you're not dead. I've rubbed out the wrong one.
Oh no, you killed someone.
I've killed someone who doesn't need to be killed.
You've done it now, so it's canon. Whereby we put them in a cannon.
Yeah, that is our thing, and he's the dead guy. I'll sort that out later. So now we work out influence. Now everybody gets 2 influence basic. And the person who wins gets an extra 2 influence. So you have 4 influence points to spend. And that just goes up in your influence points at the top. I get 2 basic, because everybody gets 2 basic. And I get 2 because of what I rolled on the injury chart. So I also have 4. Now the way you can spend influence points is you can buy certain items and things like that. Or you can also roll on your reinforcements chart. So you spend 3 influence to roll on your chart, and you can get guys back. So the reinforcement chart for Rohan is on a 1 it's nothing. On a 2 you get a warrior with a shield. On a 3 you get a warrior with a spear and shield. 4 it's a bow. 5 your choice of weaponry. Or 6 you roll on a separate chart which is specialist stuff. You can also use any influence points to increase your dice roll. So because you've got 4, if you roll a 1, you can still influence that up by 1 to get something. Okay. So would you like to save your influence points, or would you like to attempt to spend them?
I will save them for now.
Cool. Well, as a hobbit, I'm going to try and amass as many people as possible. So I'm going to roll on mine. 1 second. So, apologies for the little terror tot. Clearly wants our attention. So, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to roll on my reinforcements.
I'm not sure that hog tying him was really the appropriate parenting thing.
Well, it was harder to get him in the cage without doing that.
I guess.
So, I'm going to roll. And I got a 5. Nice. So, that means I get 2 Hobbit Militia. So, it replaces the Hobbit Militia I had.
With more Hobbit Militia.
And then I get an extra 1 as well. So...
maybe I should have spent my influence point.
Well, you still have if you go, I don't want to spend it, you can spend it at another point.
Well,
like,
yes,
if you wanted to roll now for it, you could.
No, I'm saving it.
Yeah, for a rainy day.
For a rainy day, just in case I lose my boyo.
Yeah, so I mean...
And I need a few attempts to sort of bring him back to life.
That's one of the things, like, we're playing a 1 in Games Workshop at the moment, with a load of, like a big group of us who are really into Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
And, like, 4 of us, I think, lost one of our 3 heroes in the first or second game, with a couple of them losing their actual main hero. And they're really hard to... Like, your normal guys can be promoted to heroes, but when they do, they only get 1 fate. So you lose that might and the will, and things like that. So if you take certain casualties, it can be quite hard and quite harsh. But yeah, the progression trees and things like that are really, really cool. But in terms of it, that's how Battle Companies works. That was from... And every mission will go of a similar ilk. You'll do that start bit where you roll to see which chart, and then you'll roll for your mission. Then you'll play the actual mission, and then you'll go through those same steps at the end. Yeah. Whether it's your first or your 20th game. The only way it'll be different is your company rating. If it's higher than your opponent's, for every 15 higher, they'll get an extra reroll, and they'll also get an extra influence at the end. Yeah. So I played a game the other day, and the guy I played was so much higher than me. I got 6 influence points, lost the game, and still ended up taking 8 influence points away. I completely forgot I had 6 rerolls I could have used. But it meant like I rolled on that chart twice and used the extra 2 to manipulate them, and I ended up coming away with 4 extra hobbits from it.
Oh, nice.
So it works out quite well. And hobbits, everybody else can have up to 15 models. Hobbits can have up to 25.
Wow, that's like a whole village.
Yeah, it is. Well, mine, I'm using mine.
There wasn't even that many people in my actual village that I grew up in.
That's actually very, very true. Yeah, like mine aren't a warband. Mine are a Hobbit family.
Yeah.
So I've got
That's
like
a big family.
the Rumbles and the Noaks, and then they married, and so there's a big group
So the
of
Rumble
Rumble.
Noaks.
Yeah, Rumble Noaks. So I have Rumbles on one side, Noaks on the other,
Yeah.
and then the actual family in the middle of Rumble Noaks. And it kind of works, just playing from the many like things it tells you about in the Silmarillion. You just search for it and like, Rumble, they were hobbits. They looked after, I can't remember who, but one of the Rumbles, she looked after Sam's dad when he was dying.
I don't know the lore that at all, nearly that well.
It's been a lifelong
I'm sure
obsession.
people can comment.
Indeed.
If they've made it this far in.
Yeah, but no, how did you think it went anyway?
I enjoyed it. It wasn't too steep of a learning curve because obviously it was the same principle in terms of the mechanics that we played for the Old West.
Yes.
So that was good. There was a lot of just reminding me of some of the parts.
Yeah.
But in terms of the story play, yeah, I liked it. I would rather have been elves than...
No, of course, yeah.
That's just a preference.
It's not even that we haven't got the elves, we've got them here.
It's not
just
even-
they're not painted here.
It's not even like a gameplay preference, it's purely just an aesthetic preference.
But that's the thing with this. So much of it is your aesthetic preference.
Yeah.
Because it's Lord of the Rings. If you just wanted to play a generic game, there's hundreds of them out there.
Yeah.
This very specifically, like I love Hobbits, I love Rohan.
Yeah,
That's why they're my two main armies. And that's how you kill a bit of scenery.
See, it's like... Because with another group of my friends at the moment, we're playing the RPG Lord of the Rings one, the One Ring.
Oh, yes.
And I'm an elf in that. Not a very light elf. I'm sort of playing it as somewhat of a bad guy with a very irritating voice. Which...
Oh, so your standard voice then?
It's my normal voice, yeah. He's got a bit of a Hobbit fetish. Reads Play Hobbit and things like that. Anyway, but no, and I kind of wanted to continue playing as elves so I could have a cross-game sort of universe.
Yeah, well that's the good thing is because obviously you name all your characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can take somebody from, like if you play Lord of the Rings online, you can take your character and you can essentially fit them in with this. But one of the other cool things that it does is if you build up your battle company, there's actually rules in this book for how you would then transfer them to play it in the big tabletop version of the game.
Yeah.
So they'd act as their own little sort of warband or group, which I think is really, really cool. Just, again, it gives you more incentive to do such things.
Yeah.
But no, I think I had fun. We're definitely going to do it again. We're probably... Yeah. I don't want to start an actual campaign until A, there's a couple more people. And B, we've actually got the elves. So you're playing with the models you want to be playing with. Because you care about them more. And you don't want them to die as much when they're like the actual models that you wanted to play as. But no, I really enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed it, stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and then do you want to say it?
No, this is your bit. You
hit the bell for notifications. You know you love that bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, do...
Ding that bell!
There you go. Do subscribe to us because your subscriptions feed us.
And we'll miss you.
Yeah, we will. But no, thank you guys very much for watching. And if you are a big fan of Lord of the Rings and tabletops, which you probably are if you're watching this channel, you probably at least have a passing fancy to tabletop gaming.
I've never heard of anything of Lord of the Rings. I'm going to use this one video as an introduction to the whole universe. It's
I like it.
Welcome. Check out the books.
Yeah.
Watch the films.
To play this game, you need the main rulebook, you need the battle companies, and then you need, like with the Rohan and a few of the others, one starter set for like 15 quid is enough to give you the models you need to play.
Yeah.
So it's £25 for this book. I think it's 25 for the main rulebook, and then it's 15 for a starter warband. So compared to a lot of other games, you've seen, because we've been looking at some of the other games, we're like, we might get into this, and then you look at the starting pricing and you go, I don't think
not yet.
Yeah. So it's a good, cheap starting point into this, and then obviously as you expand, you just buy the stuff as and when you need it.
Absolutely.
But no, thank you very much for watching, guys, and pray the dice gods hope they smile upon you. Say goodbye, Alan.
Bye.
And I'm not letting Parker out the cage to say goodbye, so Parker probably says goodbye if he's not chewing on bars. Take care, guys.